All right, I appear to be live. Um, Fuck. Switching into stream mode's difficult at the moment. Like to the point. I'm realizing I have a stream mode for the first time. That you don't know what you've got till it's gone. This is the first time a little something in me hasn't turned on at the same time as going live. Okay, just talk. All right, yeah. I'm sorry. The point of this was to put out an apology and an explanation. Fuck, it feels weird to be talking at nobody. Although, hi, Hallie, 2 more V's, Spud. Yeah, I get you're there, but I had a phone call earlier, and this feels very, very different, though. Not having someone to react to feels absent, which is pointing out that there's that something in me isn't quite flipping the switch. All right, the apology. Since my last live stream, I've gotten a lot of messages, and I haven't written anyone back, and that's one of the things I wanted to apologize for and explain. I really appreciate what everyone wrote. People who wrote to me on Discord, I did read everything, and I appreciated every single message. I have not been able to type anything in response whatsoever. There are times when it is very, very, very hard for me to type anything at all. And I don't know how to explain that at the moment. But there's times even to write thank you or thanks, I'll get back to you. Like, yeah, just trying to begin to answer a message has just been impossible. I've tried a couple times and have not been able to. And I know a couple people have written to me on Messenger as well. Like, I saw the number that said I had messages, but Messenger I didn't even open. But I will get back to everyone once I have a day where I feel like I'm able to type. I just have not been in that state. And I really appreciate the offers of people like offering that if I need to talk to them about shit I'm going through. That means a lot. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm not in a place where I feel like that will help right at the moment. Fuck, I had really hoped that if I set that timer that I was going live. that I would be able to do a better job of this. Hi, James. How you doing? You doing well? Two more V's says, is the phone call something you'd rather talk about than the apology right now? Oh, that loops around the apology, actually. I had already been sitting here thinking, 'cause I considered doing this video yesterday and just did not have it in me. I was sitting here debating doing it. I had made another attempt, thought, just go answer one or two. Saw that wasn't going to work and was sitting thinking about doing this exact thing when someone called me to make sure I wasn't under too much pressure to respond to people, and asking me if I should ask, if I should ask someone else to post on the Discord something like, Merc doesn't need any pressure right now. Yeah, and so the phone call was calling to see if I was feeling pressure to respond to people and offering to speak for me, or yeah, offering to say something. And so, and with that person, they also offered to talk me through all kinds of shit. But I just wasn't in the state where any of that would help. So the only thing we did talk about is how I was dealing with this, the pressure of the channel, sort of in general, and any pressure to respond to people right now. And when I talked to that person, they said me doing a live stream was a great idea. Like, just even though they said I have nothing to apologize for, and I think a couple of the messages I got also said, don't worry about responding. So it's not like people are giving me shit for not responding. I get plenty of don't worry about it, respond when you're able. All of you are extremely fucking nice to me. So I really don't feel like any of you are putting pressure on me. There is a pressure I'm experiencing, though. But that's about my own shit, not any of you. Because it's not just not getting back to people immediately that I am putting pressure on myself. I feel like I have not done well enough on the channel at all. Yesterday, what almost made me, is this of any interest to anyone? Do I keep going with what I was going to say? I am not caught up in the chat, but I'm looking at the bottom. All right. So yesterday, what brought up the feeling of a need to apologize was I was just I had I just set up a fucking playlist of videos to listen to and just lay down and close my eyes. Was doing this thing in between listening, like alternating between listening and meditating for hours, where sometimes listening to what it was, exploring my own reaction to it, and then sometimes just tuning that all out as white noise and just doing, I guess, like inner work and presence with all the difficult shit inside. And there were two videos in particular, like I tuned into one for a moment and then another. One was Russell Brand talking about charisma. And he brought it around to charismatic people are capable of being fully present with someone. I think, like something like that. But he brought it around to presence. And then Rebel Wisdom's video with Gabor Mate recent. I think it's a new one. And he was talking, which I haven't really heard much of him before. But in that video, he was talking about compassionate, what do you call it? Not compassionate listening, compassionate inquiry. And he did some examples. And to me, his compassionate inquiry it's about being fully present with the person, coming from a point of compassion. But it made me see what it is that I can do well when I can do it, for all my other fucking faults and failings. It's very, very easy for me. Like, if I'm not absolutely fucking drowning, I don't even need to be in a good state. I can be very depressed and do this especially if the outside circumstance seems stable, like there's nothing, because it's an interplay between internal states and actual external situations. I can be surprisingly depressed, so long as it's not at that fucking overwhelming intensity. Or if there aren't the outside problems as well. Anyway, when I listen to people talking about being fully present with someone and compassionate listening and those things, that I can do so easily. And I know I didn't get here easily. But I'm at the point where it's like that presence and compassionate inquiry, whatever. It's not even that it's easy, just it's natural. It's a part of me, once you change, there's a part of me that thinks that's just the most obvious thing and that anyone can do it. But anyway, it just made me feel bad that I'm struggling so fucking much that I'm not doing anything. It's like whether it's Mate or like Peterson talks about. And he talks about, the taking the side of the person that wants what's good for them and the non-judgmental aspect and all of that. if you just fucking listen to people the right way, it can be so helpful to people. I've been trying to get myself to get back into doing the Lunatic patrols so we could gather once a week. Because again, it's like that. If it wasn't for me being so fucked up in all the other ways, if I could just show up and talk to people now and then or get together with a group of you, it would be so easy. I don't think I'm describing it right. But even though none of you blame me for not doing more, yeah, I feel like saying I'm sorry I haven't fucking done more. Still feels very weird not to have someone talk when I stopped talking. All right, I'm going to take a minute to read the old messages, but I'm not going to respond for a minute. I'm just going to take a minute quiet, and then I'm not sure, do we wrap this up or should I interact once I get caught up? Does anyone have anything? Fuck, maybe I should just stop this now. I don't know. Oh, wait, I'd asked James a question, and James answered. Yes, I'm doing well, busy with school and stuff. Can't wait for warmer weather. It would have been rude to ask and then not read the response out. Good, I'm glad to hear you're doing well, James. Now, warmer weather will be nice. All right, fuck, I'll respond to this one as well. Spud says, sometimes I think you have an expectation of yourselves that others don't. Just expecting you to do what's best for yourself. That's all. Yeah, I'm aware of that. The yeah, I'm aware the apology is not because for anyone else's sake. No one expects more and nobody nobody that's writing to me wants a fucking apology for me. I'm fully aware of that. The part of this that I'm is framed as an apology is for my own fucking self because I feel like I need to apologize. I know it's the pressure I put on myself and that it's not coming from anyone else. But it comes from myself because life can be so fucking hard. I really wish I could do more to alleviate suffering for others. That's coming from an internal place. I know that. The part of this that is for everyone, like who wrote, isn't so much the apology, but just the explanation that I have read the messages on Discord. I did appreciate it. I just don't feel able to type. So it's just the update as to why I'm not answering anyone. Hallie? Is it Haley or Hallie? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing. I'm going to go with Hallie. I used to hate myself and hurt myself. I thought I was going to end it, but I held on by my fingernails and I made it here to you. I'm glad you held on. How you doing now? You say I used to hate myself and hurt myself. Does that mean you don't anymore? AF. And sorry I'm not responding to everything. I really appreciate everyone who's here. Witcher, the plebistocrat. As I read shit, non-linguistic levels of thought arose in response that just trying to shift it over into words didn't work. I'll respond to this. AF, hey, from the Middle East. Hope you get peace of mind. Thank you very much. What's it like in the Middle East at the moment? How's life treating you? Okay, Cal Clark writes, I'm curious to know if there's someone within that knows you don't have to feel bad for not being who you think you should be, and if that voice can get louder inside if you listen to it long enough. Okay, that brings up a lot. I'll see if I can try to put into words. First of all, just yes, there is a part of me like that. And one thing I've been doing with going through this mindfully is trying to learn what I can about the states I'm in. There's a part of me on the extreme end of depression that does not want to exist, that wants me to be nothing. And there's a part of me on the extreme end of the manic that wants to be everything. Like literally wants to be one with God and everything. Sun, the moon, the stars. And then both those have degrees moving inward. And so from the depressed side, I've examined that at a milder depressed state, you can want, or I can want to be happy. Then there's a deeper depressed state where I don't even want to be happy. It's like both that happiness begins to not seem real, but also happiness begins to seem exhausting and seems to have a cost. As if you're pulling something back, like a pendulum that is going to swing back and hurt you. I begin to not want happiness, to not believe in it, and to just want neutral. Like just relief, to just want relief. A neutral state, not suffering. And then when it gets worse, I've spent a lot of time in this state recently. You don't even want like full relief. You don't want to be okay. I just want I just want less pain. And then another state I've been in a lot is when it gets even farther, you don't want to exist at all. And I've examined that state like mindfully. And even the thought in that state of an angel coming up to you and offering like, hey, you can go straight to heaven now. Everything is nothing but positive experience. That state doesn't want that. It would respond to the angel with, no, please make it so I do not exist. And to bring it back what you were saying about the part of me that's okay, that's aware that it's okay to be exactly what you are, is from the extreme depressed end in that state, reminding myself that sometimes I want to be everything. That one also scales back, but it's like often when manic, you want to be more, to be doing better. And just realizing there's all those poles, the not wanting to exist, the wanting to be everything, and then the just like trying to find within me the state of just being okay, just wanting to be what I am, not wanting to be less, not wanting to be more, not wanting to be nothing, not wanting to be everything, just wanting to be what you are. And I was not able to bring that part of me active at all. What I did find is when you're in the state where you want to be nothing, and you look at all the stages in between, the way you can want to be everything, the way you can want to be more, the way you can want to be less, all the ways people want to be different. Seems like if we could just achieve the state of wanting to be what we are, what an incredible achievement that seems like from here. How heavenly that seems from here. Even though right now it doesn't feel possible for me to achieve that, although I'm aware I've been in that state plenty of times, being perfectly happy to be exactly what I am. So yes, I have that part in me. I have not been able to connect to it recently. Words are so inadequate. I don't feel like I'm explaining any of this properly. And now the chat's frozen. All right, there it moved. Levi says, "Hey Mercury, I've been going through a lot of random bipolar guilt lately. I'm not sure why. It feels like people are fed up with me, but it might just be the bipolar making me feel like that." All right, yeah, I've been going through that a lot lately too. And I think the last stream I did, Miriam wrote, I think the name was Miriam, wrote something about perhaps you need to forgive yourself, saying that to me. And I did one of the, I think I didn't respond directly to it. I think I said something like, "Yes, thank you, Miriam," without responding to it, because it was that brain, like the freeze up of moving the thought into words. But she was absolutely right about that. And yes, I'm mindful that for myself, while there's there's the useful kinds of guilt, the majority of what I'm feel guilty about or ashamed of and all of that, I'm aware that I shouldn't. It doesn't change feeling that way though. And yes, I have a lot of forgiving myself to do and I'm doing like the work on it, but with a lot of it, it's like shit that if it was someone else, I would tell them they don't even need forgiveness for that. And so realistically, maybe some people are fed up with you. Not every, as much as you lot are happy with me, there's people who are fed up with me as well. But if you're in that state, Levi, you'll definitely be exaggerating it. And it is entirely possible for people like you and me to be surrounded by people who are supportive and understanding, and we can feel like they're fed up with us. So the best thing to do in that state is to check with someone. If someone in particular you think is fed up with you, ask them. Or if it's just a more general thing, like it's not even that it's someone so specific, if you kind of have that feeling of everyone is fed up with me, my advice would be to express that to someone close to you. Because I just can't. I mean, like, yeah, you and I, as soon as I'm feeling up for talking, you and I'll talk sometime soon. I don't know if it'll be days or weeks, but when I'm feeling up to it, you and I'll talk. And but the one thing I won't be able to do when we talk is tell you how much people are actually fed up with you or not. So I would say check with a family member or friend and say, "Look, I'm feeling down at the moment. I'm feeling like shit a lot. Is everyone pissed off at me or is that all in my head?" So double check to see, or someone close to you. Again, like the kind of thing I can't do when we talk because I don't know you well enough is if you're feeling guilt, you're feeling like you're just that general, I'm a bad person, find someone who knows you well and loves you and ask them. Dust says you've been helping people out, just pulling through. I definitely know some of the pain. All right, yeah, I guess even with all the other things I haven't done, I've done a few live streams lately, and I'm glad that is helpful to some of you. Hey, Nolan. Thanks. I'm struggling, but I hope you're having a good day. How's your poetry going? And like I was saying, I was apologizing for not writing back to people. So I don't know if I would respond, Nolan, but yeah, I'd love to read some of your new poetry. So especially if there's no pressure to respond at all. If you have anything you want to show me, send it to me on Discord. Just because wrote happiness is a burden to easily keep. And depressed states, the thought of being happy does feel like a burden. Witcher writes, I want patience, but I want it now. All right, there, move. The chat keeps freezing up. Yeah, and my computer's been malfunctioning worse. If I suddenly am not responding at all anywhere for a while, it's been a couple times where I've been worried this computer's done, but then it starts working again. Bye, James. And again, sorry, everyone. Yeah, I was just reading shit and not responding. That's horrible fucking broadcasting. Adela wrote, life is hard and unfulfilling without love. Love gives you purpose. Purpose gives you meaning. Meaning brings you back to life. Well said. And I don't know how to allow you to post the link, Plebistocrat, but if anyone else was reading along, and I read along what you and Witcher were saying, just post on the Discord the link, maybe. And it's there for anyone else who reads all of that. Nolan says the poetry's going really good. I've been working on it a lot lately. Feels like I'm making good progress on my current project. Excellent. Oh, yeah, Tyler, I knew that was you. I just didn't know if you were wanting to go by you or not. If I recognize someone's name and they're not using their real name, I use the name they're using in the chat because some people don't like me using their real name. But yeah, I knew that was you, Tyler. How's shit going with you? Yeah, it's suddenly sinking in that I am not just chatting with a couple of you. This is broadcasting on YouTube, and it's devolved into me just sitting here quietly reading and occasionally responding to something. So maybe I should just wrap this up. Yeah, I think I'm going to wrap this up here, not because I don't want to keep interacting with all of you, but because the brain function's getting more difficult. So I'm going to wrap this up now. I did appreciate, like I said, I appreciated everyone writing to me. Like that did mean something to me. So if anyone does want to, feel free to keep writing. Just be aware. I have no idea how long until I start responding. And the same thing with anything else. If I don't appear again until the next full moon, whenever the fuck that is, don't worry. Uh, I'll be managing. And I do still really want to get the lunatic patrols going again when I'm able. Because I know a lot of people are in lockdown and shit and are feeling isolated, and those went really well. But I just cannot predict when I'm going to be able to get started with that. So even though you're all expressing I shouldn't apologize, I'm going to end on the apologetic note of sorry, I'm not fucking doing better or doing more. But that's not because you are giving me the impression I need to apologize. Just because one part of me will feel better that I did. So until we meet again, I hope everything goes well for all of you. I love you all. God bless.